beer lovers. Today on The Lazy Homebrewer, we're going to talk about American wheat beers. Welcome to the Beer Hut. Today's topic is American wheat beers. We're going to talk a little bit about the style, and then we're going to do some empirical research. And when I say empirical research, I mean I'm going to drink some beers. I'm going to set up a tasting with some of the locally available American wheats and see if I can draw some inspiration for my own extract recipe. After that, we're going to check out my take on an American wheat. So let's jump right in, shall we? If you have ever had a Bavarian Hefeweizen, an American wheat is nothing like that. During the early days of the craft beer movement, American brewers decided that they would use clean finishing yeast, either lager or ale, to make their American wheats. So an American wheat has none of the coriander, cardamom, or ripe banana flavors that you'll find in its German cousin. What we're left with is a hazy, slightly malty, low hop beer that, in my opinion, doesn't really have a lot of character. I'm guessing that the American brewers agree with me because a lot of the American wheat beers have fruit added to them, which I think makes a lot of sense. So let's get to that tasting, shall we? Here's our lineup for today's tasting. 5 locally available American wheat beers. Our first one is the Widmer Hef. Straw color, slightly hazy. Very light on the nose. Slightly spicy, peppery flavor from the hops. Very easy drinking. Don't know if I would really go out of my way to brew that one, but it is an easy drinking beer. Okay. Our second taster today is the North Coast Blue Star out of Fort Bragg, California, North Coast. Fairly pale, clear, very light aroma. Very light flavor. Drinks like a lager. I would probably not even know this was a wheat beer unless you told me. Light, crisp, good flavor. Does not really drink like a wheat. Wouldn't throw that out, but I wouldn't brew it. Moving on. Our third taster today is the Lost Coast Tangerine. Looks like the darkest of the 5 that we have today. Amber color, crystal clear, no haze from the wheat. Strong tangerine aroma. Excellent tangerine flavor. Tastes like genuine fruit. Definitely comes through. Good body. That's an excellent beer. If you're going to add fruit to a beer, that would be a really good candidate. Liking that one. Okay, this brings us to our fourth taster today, the Unita Mango Golden Spike. Unita has been making the Golden Spike for years. The mango, I think, is a recent addition. Light straw color, very slightly hazy. Strong mango aroma, smells fantastic. Solid fresh mango flavor on that as well. That's excellent. If you like mango and you like wheat beers, this would be a strong candidate for sure. Medium body, good carbonation. That is an excellent beer. This brings us to our fifth and final tasting today, the Hanger 24 Orange Wheat. Very light straw color, very slightly hazy. Mild orange peel aroma. A little bit on the sour side. Fermented some of the sugars out of that orange, left with a tart orange flavor, which is excellent. Hanger 24 is in Redlands, California, which was prime orange growing territory for many years. They advertise that the orange flavor in their beer comes from locally grown oranges, which I can appreciate. That is an excellent beer if you're looking for a citrus flavored wheat. Outstanding. So what can I take away from today's tasting? Well, I think that an American wheat by itself is probably nothing that I would be terribly interested in. But several of the fruit additions made it a lot of fun. I really like the slightly sour component from the fermented orange flavor. I think that's something that I want to make sure that I include. Also, I'm going to put a pretty hefty amount of wheat in my grain bill. A lot of those beers seem to have a fairly light body and didn't have any haze. Wheat beers are generally 30 to 50% wheat. I'm going to make sure that I get up into that range. Aside from that, I think that I want to try a fruit that other people probably aren't using. There's a lot of tropical and citrus flavors out, and I'm going to try something that's a little bit different, but definitely something that I like as a juice all by itself. I'm not going to take you through the brew day with me, but here's the recipe that I came up with. So there it is, my take on an American wheat. Let's check it out. Reddish amber color from the pomegranate, very hazy. Tart pomegranate aroma. Good carbonation. Excellent body. Tart pomegranate flavor, exactly what I was going for. I chose pomegranate because nobody else is making pomegranate these days. If I want a citrus or a tropical flavored wheat beer, I can go and get those anywhere. I like pomegranate, and the tart flavor that comes through on this is outstanding. This beer also points out the importance of how you condition your beers. If I keg this and then put it in refrigeration right away, I get a very fresh pomegranate flavor, and it's a reasonably neutral beer. If I let it sit at room temperature for a month or so before I refrigerate it, the pomegranate continues to ferment, and what I end up with is a very tart, almost kettle sour sort of a flavor, which I am liking quite a bit. Definitely happy with that. That's about it from the Beer Hut for this time. Strongly encourage you to go out and do your own empirical research to find out what beers you would like to brew, and then get right on that. Until next time, brew what you like and like what you brew. Cheers.